We got some big announcement here from Xbox and the integration of CoPilot. They showed it off. It is coming, and it's just going to help you get through games and give you tips and everything. So it's pretty cool. We'll look at that, as well as we have a big number here for Xbox Play Anywhere. They're keeping on expanding this thing out, and the amount of games keeps going up. I just hope this does continue for a very, very long time. Live service games at PlayStation, there's one in the works. We don't know what it is. We have some more confirmation here about a major first-party Xbox game that is going to be coming out very, very soon. Won't have to wait too long for it. That plus a bunch of other announcements here from Rainbow Six Siege X. We have some sales numbers for some big titles and some other stuff to go over. But before we continue, if you enjoy daily gaming content, daily gaming news, hit the subscribe button, as I see many of you who do watch on a daily basis are not subscribed, so I would really appreciate that. All right, let's talk Xbox CoPilot. This is something that we have heard is coming over to the Xbox ecosystem, where it's going to be using AI to give you help and hints and everything as you are playing through a game. You can ask it things, and it's going to give you some answers here. They had the Xbox podcast yesterday, and in the Xbox podcast, they showed off CoPilot for gaming and how it is now coming over for the Xbox ecosystem. They say here that Microsoft has unveiled Xbox CoPilot for gaming, a new tool aimed towards being the ultimate gaming sidekick for players. And this was in the official Xbox podcast. You had the Xbox corporate vice president of gaming AI, Fatima Kerdar, who unveiled the AI-powered tool for the world. And in the Xbox Wire post, they say this AI-driven sidekick is designed to be your personalized gaming companion, helping you get to your favorite games faster, coaching you to improve your skills, and connecting you better with your friends and communities. And they also say here that CoPilot for gaming will be there when you need it, but out of the way if you don't. They showed off some examples as to how this entire thing worked. They showed off Minecraft as well as Overwatch. Specifically within Minecraft, there was a player who picked up wood, and then they entered the prompt to Xbox CoPilot and asking what they could do with this wood, saying, okay, I've got some wood. What do I do with that? And CoPilot came back and explained how you could turn that wood into gathered oak logs and wooden planks. And then they also went on here and showed off Overwatch. I found the Overwatch one actually to be relatively interesting. The first one was they were going to pick a hero. They wanted to pick Echo, but Echo was already selected, and CoPilot says Echo's taken, but Cassidy would be a solid pick with this team. And they explained why this character would be a solid pick with the mid-range hit scan and everything and the damage that they do. And then after the match, they were scratching their heads as to why they did not do well, or how could they improve, or after they died, they were thinking, why did I die? What could I do better? And CoPilot explained that it happened because they stayed in the fight for too long and suggested to regroup with their team the next time they are in a similar situation. There was a big thing, they showed it off, and it went more into detail exactly how that player could be helped and everything, but it was just an example of how this is going to work for gamers as this gets rolled out and as people do start using it. I see it as basically just replacing going on to Google, looking up YouTube videos on how to do things. It'll just be faster and easier, and really just, I guess, makes you more lazy in terms of trying to find the information and stuff, because you're just going to say, CoPilot, give me this answer. And then it will help you through that section of the game. It will hold your hand. You don't have to use it. That's the thing. That is the thing with these types of features. You think this is going to make gaming worse, or you think that it is going to make gaming too easy, you literally just do not have to use it. But something here that's added here to the Xbox ecosystem, I wonder how it's going to work in all the different games that are out there, especially the more obscure, smaller games. Will it be able to help as much as it helps with those bigger games like Minecraft and Overwatch? But here it is. And I think as of right now, it's starting to roll out on mobile devices for members of the Xbox Insider program, or it's going to be rolling out soon, and then it'll eventually release to everybody. So if you're wondering when you're going to be able to check this out, it'll be, I would say, in the next couple of months or so. I would assume once the insiders get their chance with testing it out. The other thing that was announced here at this Xbox podcast which I think is a great thing. This is a program that absolutely needs to continue to expand, and going forward when big games do release, or hopefully pretty much any game that does release on Xbox going through into the next generation, should have this feature, and that is Xbox Play Anywhere. They put this out here and they say there are 1,000 plus games now with Xbox Play Anywhere, playing on your PC, your console. And this is a big thing here right now with all of the news going around with the Xbox handhelds coming out, or whatever you want to call them, the handhelds made by other manufacturers that have the Xbox button and are designed for Xbox, not the official one created by Xbox themselves. I've seen that discussion going on, but I mean, the reality is they're all going to be within this design for Xbox program. So it's just really how you want to divide it up in your mind as to what is official and what is not. I feel like Asus, Lenovo, and all these companies are going to have to follow something to release these, and they're going to be here approved by Xbox before they get put out. So it's essentially the same thing, just more choice and more specs. But the 1,000 plus games, this is a big thing, especially with the handhelds coming out, because you want to go onto your console, play a game, jump over to your PC, play it, jump over to your handheld, jump onto the cloud. I mean, if you go and try that out right now with games, it works phenomenal. It's one of the best things that we have in gaming right now. And Xbox has brought this to fruition, something I've always thought would have been awesome to happen way back before this was even something that these companies were talking about. Just being able to hop from whatever device you're on and continue with your save and continue with your progression. It's seamless. It works great. This is a great future for consumers and a great future for gaming. So I'm very happy that more games are going into this program. And I just hope going forward, a lot of the big third-party titles start taking advantage of this. Like, for example, Monster Hunter Wilds. I've keep opening up my Xbox app on my phone or going to xbox.com/play thinking, oh, maybe it'll be in there for Xbox Play Anywhere. I can go in and slay a monster while I have 30 minutes or something on the side. But it's not there. So I would love to see more games take advantage of this. A lot of bigger games should always have that program. And I wonder what Xbox has to do to convince these developers to hit that check mark for Xbox Play Anywhere and give people more access to their games. Okay, games as a service, we have seen over the last year or so, many fail. Concord, the biggest one. It's just never a guarantee, and it's a very risky genre right now, I would say, to try to get into, because the big ones have established themselves. You have Fortnite, you have Call of Duty, you have Rainbow Six Siege, and we're going to talk about Rainbow Six Siege X that was announced today that looks really, really cool. People want to play those games. It's the ones that they always go back to, and it's really hard to pull them away, at least for a consistent basis on anything new that does come out. PlayStation, as we know, they were working on a bunch of live service games. Then they canceled them, but it looks like they're still working on one. It just has not yet been announced. And this does not shock me, because they still need a multiplayer live service game in their repertoire, in their first party lineup, to bring in that revenue from that style of game to support the just huge cinematic third person first party games that they do put out. We have this. PlayStation is yet to announce another live service multiplayer game, but there is another live service competitive multiplayer title in the works at PlayStation. The identity, however, of the game is yet to be revealed. And in a recent job posting that was discovered from PlayStation, it was revealed that a studio under the label is working on an unannounced project that's set to feature competitive esports and live service elements. We don't know what it is. There is some speculation here. They say on Reddit, eagle-eyed users spotted the recently posted job listing from an undetermined studio. Then started theorizing what potentially it could be, because obviously esports, multiplayer. So it is going to be something very focused on that style of gameplay. It says here that it might be Jason Blundell's new game too, which is in 2023. Rumors started surfacing regarding Blundell's appointment to a new PlayStation studio in Los Angeles, and it has been suggested that the former Call of Duty legend is working on a game that fits the bill. And if the job listing was for a placement in LA, it would offer more credence to that claim, but it's a remote position, so there is nothing really to go on. So yeah, we have no idea as to what this thing could be, but I'm guessing some sort of first-person shooter that will try to take on games like Call of Duty or games like Rainbow Six or Valorant or any of those major esports games that have a lot of people watching on Twitch, have a lot of people playing it, just have a major scene. that they can draw users to and get them excited to play the game. So we'll see. They need it. They absolutely need it. And I hope that whatever they do put out next doesn't get closed down in 6 days like Concord did, because that is just, it's not good for anyone. It's not good for the industry when a game fails that badly. And speaking of big esports first-person shooter multiplayer games, Rainbow Six Siege X, we got the reveal of this. It is just more Rainbow Six Siege with some pretty nice upgrades here. Some upgrades that I think are going to make a big difference on how the game looks, how it feels, and everything. And on top of that, a major game mode that is coming, a 6v6 game mode that has a closed beta starting right now. And I'm going to jump into that when I can, because it looks like it is a ton of fun. But here are the details for Rainbow Six Siege X. It launches on June 10th and is going to be free to play, so that's always good. And they say it's a major reboot of the original Siege with tons of upgrades, better destruction, graphics, animations, and effects, a new 6v6 dual front mode with respawns, plus mixed attack and defense teams, exclusive district map for the new mode, reworked 3D audio for more immersive sound, updated 3D character models, new exotic item rarity, revamped customization system, and exclusive reward for veteran players, plus free access for the newcomers. Beta runs March 13th until 19th. We take a look here, just some graphic comparisons, and you can see the relatively big upgrades you do see in the details on the walls and everything on the weapon and just the overall environment. There's even some more comparisons here, and again, just more details, lighting, all of that type of stuff is better with this Rainbow Six Siege X. You can really notice like the bricks and stuff on the wall, so that will just make for a better experience. And obviously if you're playing on a fancy new PC comparatively to when this came out in 2015, you're going to get a lot of nice upgrades here that will just be shiny to the eye and just be better for the gameplay and everything. You'll be able to see things better, all that type of stuff. So excited about that. And the extra destruction they were showing off within this game looks very, very cool. The other big thing here, which is the big game mode that they are bringing here, is called Dual Front. It is now a 6v6 game mode. Previously, it was just 5v5. And they say here that in Dual Front, a predetermined seasonal operator pool will dictate who you can play, and team sizes are bumped up to 6 per side. And instead of spawning directly inside or outside one target area, there are 3 large areas to choose from, each with its own objective. So your team of 6 will need to split up to focus on both defending and attacking different locations simultaneously. And they say, while the scope has expanded, much of the great core gameplay remains the same. When match starts, each team will spawn in their squad HQ, and one of 2 locations in your team sector will start a countdown to a defend mission. And this is true for your opponents. So each team will need to defend one spot while attacking another. How you handle that and where you decide to go is up to you. So I'm excited to try this game mode out. That sounds great. I mean, that game mode does sound fun. It just gives you more things if you've found that the older game mode is stale. This will bring something brand new to it. I've been reading stuff online. People are actually having a lot of fun with this one. So I think this is going to be a hit, because Rainbow Six Siege 2015 is when it came out, has been very good now for about 10 years, and it's going to continue to go strong, I think, here with this X update. It's not another entry into the series. It's just a nice coating of paint, some new game modes, and some additional features that are added on. So I'm pretty excited to jump in and play it. All right, let's get an update here about Oblivion Remake. This is great to see if you're a fan of the game. If you haven't played yet and you've been interested in it, it doesn't really matter. This is awesome to hear. We are pretty much getting a confirmation here from Nate the Hate that the Elder Scrolls for Oblivion Remake is coming in April. And you can decide whether you want to believe that or not. Nate the Hate has been correct on things before. I think this is happening. I believe this is true. He says here, a quick update on the Elder Scrolls for Oblivion announcement and release timing. As plans stand, both the release and reveal are targeting next month, which is April, and the gap between the reveal and the release will be minimal. A shadow drop is possible, which has me asking, if they're going to do a shadow drop, they're just going to come out on Game Pass announcement, the first one in April, and say that this is one of the games? Or is there going to be a little showcase of some sort, another direct Xbox Direct. Who knows how they would do it? And then they go deeper dive into the game, show off the new mechanics and the upgrade and graphics and everything, and then shadow drop it. That'll be interesting what they do. They could honestly just end up putting it as a Game Pass release, and with their monthly Game Pass announcement, and then try to market it and hype it up there and say you can go ahead and play it right now. But we will see. That's awesome that this is so close. This is another game that gets dropped into the first half here of 2025, which takes away this being one that slots it into the second half to potentially be in place of Fable and everything. So who knows as well what we are going to be getting in June at the Xbox Showcase. More games on top of everything that has already released, and this just adds to the entire list. So I'm excited. I will absolutely be going in and playing this. If you're an Elder Scrolls Online fan, they did announce here that there will be a direct airing April 10th. This will be with the studio head and the team showcasing the Elder Scrolls Online features April 10th here. You could ask yourself, maybe this will be something that they show off the Oblivion remake as well. I doubt it, because it seems like it's just for Elder Scrolls Online, but it is another direct and showcase for fans of that game. A game that a lot of people just kind of forget is there, I think, when we talk about Xbox first party stuff and just how much money some of their titles bring in. This is one of those games that has a huge player base. You add that with like WoW, and Xbox really is the home of RPGs, first person shooters, MMOs. Like, they have some great ones too. So some cool stuff there. Go ahead and watch that direct if you want to know more what is coming with the Elder Scrolls Online in the future. And to end things off, we have a couple more announcements here. Final Fantasy 16 sold over 3.5 million copies. This is according to Japanese analyst Hideki Yasuda. And the president of Square Enix, Takahashi Kiryu, said that it had sold over 3.5 million units during the financial results briefing. I don't know, like, that seems like a decent number. It seems like a good amount of sales for this game. But I think, like, the Final Fantasy mainline game, you would expect a bit more. Like, I think it could have sold more. And if this potentially comes back to how they released this game, which was exclusive to the PlayStation console. It's out on PC now, but when it first came out, there was that time period where you could only get on the PS5. We know that Square Enix came out and were disappointed in how that went, which is why they went full multi-platform. 3.5 million copies right now for Final Fantasy 16. It seems okay, but I feel like it could be doing a lot better. And I think if they would have released it everywhere on day one, it would have done better than 3.5, or at least as of now. It may increase in sales down the line. Split Fiction, we now know its sales numbers in 1 week. It sold 2 million copies. And again, you kind of compare that to Final Fantasy 16, 3.5 million after all this time. I'm sure this one is going to surpass that easily. Joseph Fares does it again, a game that's gotten great reviews and doing very well commercially. So good for that. And finally, we'll just end off with this exciting news here for Space Marine fans. It looks like Space Marine 3 has officially been announced. Focus Entertainment came out and said, we are now starting to develop Space Marine 3, a game that carries with it tremendous expectations from a rapidly expanding fan base. The first one was great. The second one was way better. And then now we have the third one here, which probably got a lot of people who never played the first one into the series. So Space Marine 3, I think, will be that pinnacle for the game. I'm going to end the video there, guys. If you did enjoy the video, hit that thumbs up. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video.